Remember when technology wasn't just a tap and a swipe, but a collection of magical machines that breathed life into our daily experiences? Imagine the screech of dial-up internet, the click of a VCR, the buzz of a pager, or the mechanical rhythm of a typewriter. These weren't just objects, they were storytellers, time machines, and companions to our most cherished memories. Before smartphones erased boundaries and digital connections became instant, these 15 everyday objects were the heartbeat of American life. They weren't just tools, they were storytellers. From the living room to the office, from family gatherings to personal adventures, each object carried a piece of our collective memory. Join us as we resurrect these forgotten treasures, exploring how each seemingly simple device rewrote the rules of how we lived, loved, and remembered. Before streaming, before Netflix, there was the VCR, the magical box that turned living rooms into personal movie theaters. Imagine the ritual, carefully sliding a tape into the machine, adjusting the tracking, and settling in for a family movie night. VCRs gave us time-shifting the revolutionary ability to watch shows whenever we wanted. No more missing your favorite program or rushing home. Families would gather, recording memories alongside their favorite shows, creating libraries of home movies and recorded television. By 2016, the last VCR manufacturer stopped production, marking the end of an era that had defined home entertainment for decades. But recording memories was just the beginning of technological connection. Music wasn't just heard in the 1970s and 80s, it was curated, recorded, and shared. Cassette tapes were personal time machines, letting you create the perfect mixtape for a road trip, a first crush, or a moment of teenage rebellion. The Sony Walkman transformed these small plastic cases into portable universes of sound. Suddenly, music wasn't confined to living rooms. It traveled with you, soundtracking every moment of life. Each tape was a carefully crafted story, recorded with pause button precision, capturing the essence of an era when music was a deeply personal experience. Do you remember the first mixtape you ever made? The carefully selected songs, the perfect order, the hours spent recording. From personal soundtracks to personal connections, technology was about to change how we communicated. Before voicemail and text messages, the answering machine was the guardian of family communication. That blinking red light meant something magical, a message waiting to be discovered, a connection preserved in magnetic tape. Imagine coming home, pressing play, and hearing the voices of loved ones, missed connections, and unexpected surprises. These machines transformed how families communicated, creating a ritual of anticipation and connection that digital messaging could never replicate. The first commercially successful answering machine, the electronic secretary, introduced in 1949, changed communication forever. If you're loving this nostalgic journey through technology, join us in Vintage America Tales for more stories that bring the past to life. Some objects were more than just tools, they were social networks before social networks existed. Before digital contacts and smartphone address books, the Rolodex was Facebook, LinkedIn, and personal network all in one spinning device. Each card represented a connection, a potential opportunity, a piece of professional identity. By the 1980s, the size of your Rolodex was a status symbol. Business professionals would carefully maintain these rotating card files, each entry a carefully cultivated relationship. The name itself, a combination of rolling and index, represented the innovation of personal networking in the pre-digital age. From personal connections to public communication, technology was reshaping how we reached out. Once a lifeline of public communication, payphones were more than just metal boxes on street corners. They were connection points, emergency lifelines, and sometimes the only link to the outside world. Digging through pockets for quarters, the metallic clink of coins, the anticipation of connection, payphones were a shared public experience that smartphones have completely erased. Each payphone told a story of missed connections, urgent calls, and moments of human vulnerability. Can you recall the last time you used a payphone? The sense of anticipation, the public intimacy of a street corner call. Music and entertainment were about to transform public spaces in ways no one could have imagined. More than just music machines, jukeboxes were the heartbeat of American social spaces. Diners, bars, and dance halls came alive with the promise of your selected song, a personal soundtrack for shared moments. Colorful, mechanical, and full of possibility, jukeboxes transformed how we experienced music in public spaces. Each selection was a statement, a mood, a memory waiting to be created. The mechanical dance of records, the anticipation of your chosen song. Jukeboxes were performance art and personal expression. They were social media before social media, letting you broadcast your musical personality to an entire room. From musical expression to information gathering, technology was democratizing access to experiences. Before Google, before search engines, the Yellow Pages were the ultimate information resource. Let your fingers do the walking wasn't just a slogan, it was a way of life. These thick directories were more than books, they were lifelines for small businesses, connection points for communities, and the original local search engine. Families would gather around these books, circling potential services, planning home repairs, or finding new restaurants. Started in 1883 when a printer ran out of white paper, the Yellow Pages became an indispensable part of American daily life, connecting communities long before the internet. The tools of communication were about to become more personal and precise. Each keystroke was a declaration, a piece of personal history hammered into existence. Typewriters weren't just writing tools, they were instruments of creativity, communication, and professional identity. The mechanical rhythm, the ding of the carriage return, the smell of ink and metal, typewriters were more than machines. They were partners in human expression, witnesses to love letters, business memos, and great American novels. From office correspondence to literary masterpieces, typewriters captured the sound and spirit of mid-20th century communication, turning writing into a tactile musical experience. Personal technology was about to become more portable and dynamic. Loud, proud, and unapologetically personal, boomboxers were more than music players. They were statements of cultural identity. Carried through urban streets, they transformed public spaces into personal concert halls. Each boombox was a mobile community center, a way of sharing music, culture, and attitude with the world around you. The bigger the box, the louder the statement. These were the megaphones of street culture. Urban neighborhoods would pulse with competing rhythms, boomboxes becoming instruments of musical dialogue and cultural expression. Do you remember the first time you saw someone walking down the street with a massive boombox, music echoing through the neighborhood? Digital connections were about to make personal technology even more compact and powerful. Before smartphones, PDAs were the cutting edge of personal organization. These small devices promised a world of efficiency, a digital brain you could carry in your pocket. Calendars, address books, to-do lists, PDAs were the first glimpse of the connected world we now take for granted. They represented the dream of total personal productivity, a technological extension of ourselves. Each PDA was a promise of future technology, a bridge between analog and digital life, showing us how technology could become an intimate part of our daily existence. Information was about to become truly portable and instantly accessible. More than a magazine, TV Guide was a weekly ritual of family entertainment planning, circling favorite shows, planning viewing schedules, creating shared family experiences. Each issue was a map of cultural moments, a guide to shared national experiences through television. Families would gather, debate, and plan their viewing week, turning television into a communal event. TV Guide wasn't just about what to watch, it was about how we connected through media, creating shared cultural experiences in living rooms across America. Digital technology was about to transform how we stored and shared information. These small, square pieces of plastic were the first personal data carriers, the ancestors of our cloud storage and USB drives. From 8 inches to 3.5 inches, floppy disks represented the first time ordinary people could carry and share digital information. Each disk was a tiny universe of personal and professional data, a digital time capsule. Students would carry homework, professionals would transport reports, and suddenly information became portable. The satisfying click of a disk sliding into a computer, the whir of data being read, floppy disks were our first taste of digital mobility. But the digital revolution was just beginning, and connection itself was about to change. Before high-speed connections, dial-up internet was our gateway to the digital world. That distinctive screech and static of a modem connecting was the sound of possibility of a world opening up. Patience was a virtue in the dial-up era, waiting minutes for a single image to load, hoping no one would pick up the phone and disconnect you. It was a shared experience of technological anticipation. The internet wasn't just a tool, it was an adventure. Each connection a journey into the unknown. From internet connections to instant communication, technology was making us more connected than ever. Before cell phones, pagers were the lifeline of communication, a small device that would beep, vibrate, and display a mysterious number, a code you'd rush to decode. Doctors, emergency workers, and professionals wore them like badges of importance. The anticipation of a message, the hunt for a nearby phone to call back, pagers created a unique communication ritual. They were more than devices. They were status symbols of connectivity in a pre-smartphone world. Can you remember the excitement of receiving a page, the rush to find a phone and call back? While communication was becoming instant, one art form was about to become a lost treasure. Photography wasn't instant. It was an art of patience and anticipation. Loading film, carefully composing each shot, then waiting days or weeks to see the results. The excitement of picking up developed photos, spreading them out on the kitchen table, reliving memories captured on paper. Each roll of film was a time capsule of moments carefully preserved. Film cameras made every photograph precious, every memory deliberate. These 15 objects are more than just forgotten technology. They're chapters in the story of how we became connected, how we shared, and how we imagined the future. From the living room to the office, from street corners to personal pockets. Each device represents a moment of human creativity, a step in our technological evolution. They remind us that innovation isn't just about new machines, it's about human connection, about finding better ways to communicate, express ourselves, and understand the world. What everyday object do you miss most? Share your memories in the comments below, and let's keep these stories alive. If you loved this journey through technological nostalgia, join us in Vintage America Tales for more stories that bring our shared history to life.